John Acuff's Soundtracks, The Surprising Solution to Overthinking, is a witty, practical, and deeply relatable guide to overcoming toxic thought patterns and reclaiming control of one's mindset. Acuff, a best-selling author and motivational speaker, frames overthinking as the tendency to replay negative soundtracks in our minds, internal narratives that sabotage confidence, creativity, and progress. His central thesis is that by identifying, challenging, and replacing these destructive soundtracks, we can transform overthinking from a liability into an asset. The book begins with Acuff's own confession. He is a chronic overthinker. He describes how overthinking often masquerades as productivity, tricking us into believing that endless rumination is preparation. In reality, it drains energy, paralyzes decision-making, and magnifies fear. He likens overthinking to a broken record, where the same negative thoughts play on repeat, shaping our actions and outcomes. By naming these thoughts as soundtracks, Acuff makes them tangible, something we can confront and change. Acuff introduces a three-step process for dealing with toxic soundtracks: retire, replace, repeat. Retire. The first step is recognizing and retiring broken soundtracks. Acuff encourages readers to ask three diagnostic questions. Is this thought true? Is it helpful? Is it kind? If the answer is no, the soundtrack must be retired. He emphasizes that awareness is key. Many people live with toxic soundtracks without realizing their impact. Replace. Once a broken soundtrack is retired, it must be replaced with a new, positive one. Acuff warns that silence is not enough. The brain craves repetition. He suggests creating affirmations, mantras, or reframed narratives that align with truth, kindness, and usefulness. These new soundtracks should be simple, memorable, and emotionally resonant. Repeat. The final step is repetition. Just as negative soundtracks gained power through constant replay, positive ones must be reinforced through practice. Acuff stresses that consistency is essential. New soundtracks become habits only when repeated until they feel natural. Throughout the book, Acuff blends humor with research. He cites psychological studies on the power of thought, habit formation, and neuroplasticity, showing that the brain can indeed be rewired. He also shares anecdotes from his own life and from people he has coached, illustrating how soundtracks shape careers, relationships, and personal growth. His storytelling makes abstract concepts concrete, while his humor keeps the tone light and engaging. A recurring theme is the role of fear in overthinking. Acuff explains that fear often disguises itself as caution, whispering soundtracks like, "You're not ready," "You'll fail," or "People will laugh at you." These soundtracks keep us stuck, preventing risk-taking and growth. By retiring fear-based soundtracks and replacing them with courageous ones, we can move forward despite uncertainty. Acuff insists that courage is not the absence of fear, but the decision to act in spite of it. Another theme is identity. Acuff argues that soundtracks shape how we see ourselves. Negative soundtracks reinforce limiting identities, like "I'm not creative" or "I'm bad with money," while positive ones expand possibilities. He encourages readers to craft soundtracks that affirm their strengths and potential, creating identities that inspire action. He notes that identity is not fixed, it is shaped by the stories we tell ourselves, and by changing those stories, we change our lives. Acuff also explores the impact of soundtracks on relationships. Overthinking often distorts how we interpret others' actions, leading to unnecessary conflict or withdrawal. For example, a broken soundtrack might say, "They don't like me," when in reality, the person is simply busy. By replacing relational soundtracks with generous interpretations, we foster trust and connection. Acuff emphasizes that healthy soundtracks not only benefit individuals, but also strengthen communities. The book includes practical exercises for identifying and changing soundtracks. Acuff suggests writing down recurring thoughts, testing them against the 3 questions, and crafting replacements. He encourages readers to use sticky notes, journals, or digital reminders to reinforce new soundtracks. He also advocates for soundtrack playlists, collections of affirmations or quotes that can be revisited during moments of doubt. These tools make the process actionable, ensuring that readers can apply the concepts in daily life. Acuff's tone is motivational but grounded. He acknowledges that changing soundtracks is not easy. It requires persistence and patience. He reassures readers that setbacks are normal, and that progress comes from repetition rather than perfection. His humor and self-deprecation make the journey feel approachable, reminding readers that everyone struggles with overthinking, and that transformation is possible.